Today I'll teach you the process of creating and accessing the Python modules in Jupyter Notebook. Now, what is a module in Python? So a module in Python is a file containing Python code, typically with a .py extension that defines functions, class and variables. So we need to write a file, and in that you can keep some functions, some classes and variables, but the file need to be saved with a .py extension. Now any file which is saved with .py extension can be considered as a module. So modules help organize code into reusable components, making it easier to manage and maintain. So let's suppose I want to just write few functions in a particular file and save with .py extension, and the functions need to be called number of times whenever I require. So that is called as reusability. So you define your functions once and later on you just call it wherever it is required. So we are trying to organize the code which is reusable. So like that we can create multiple number of files, and all files whatever you are writing in Python, if you are saving with .py extension, are considered as modules. So it is very easier to maintain, to manage, to debug. That is error detection and correction will be very simple. So any modification you want to do, you need to only open that particular .py file and modify and save it, and later on you can access it. Now, how to create a module? So to create a module, just save the code you want in a file with a file extension .py. Now I'll show you how to create a module. So you can go for home, and you can just, so whenever you open your software, that is Anaconda software, you get this home page. Here you have an option called new, and you can just go for new file. Now this is a text file, so I'm opening that. Now here you can give the name, like I'm giving like X module, so example module .py. Okay, now this is a Python program where I'm saved with .py extension, so just open that. Okay, now in this file I can say .py is an extension, so this is one of the module. Now here I'm writing some functions, like I'll write like def for function definition. Now here I'm writing something called display, and just put a colon, and the indentation starts, and I'm writing something like new to module creation in Python. Now this is the logic what I'm writing. Similarly, I can write the other functions. I'm writing something like add, and I'm writing a comma b as a parameters. Then put a colon, and here I want to return a plus b. Now these are the two things what I mentioned. Just save it, save Python file. Now this is a module what have been created, and here I have only two functions. Then I've saved it, and then go back to your Python editor. Now here I want to just call it. So this is the file only to create. So two functions are defined. Now I want to call this. So here you can go for this editor, the Python editor, where you can run your actual code. Now here, how to use a module. So here we have created find with the .py extension, but how to use it? We can use the module we just created by using import statement. Now you need to follow this. Now when using a function from a module, use the syntax. Now you need to give the module name dot the function name. So like this you need to call. So first you need to import by writing import keyword. So I prepared X module, no? X module. is the module name. Then you want to call the function. So you give the module name first, x module dot, because I have clearly mentioned the syntax, the module name, then you have a dot operator, then function name. So I have a function called display. So let me test this, whether it is going to work or not. Just execute and see. Now can you see you got new to module creation in Python? So the same logic I mentioned here. So actually I'm creating a .py file with a name called exmodule.py. You can give any name, and in the two functions are defined separately. But I'm trying to access the particular function in the another editor. But what I need to do, I need to first import the particular module. Then by using the module name, I need to call the function. So let's say I want to call the other function. I'll call here same module dot add function. Okay, I'll give something like 5 comma 4 and just execute. Okay, you see you get the 9 as answer because it is returning the answer here. Whenever you give 5, it will store in A, then 4 will store in B, then 5 plus 4, 9 is been returned back. So that is the reason you are getting the answer as 9. Now I want to add one more function. Let's say here def subtraction of A comma B, and I'll write print A minus B. Okay, so just save this, save Python file, and here go for calling again x module. There's a module name dot sub of 5 comma 4 I'm giving. Just execute that. Now here you're getting an error, and it is saying that module ex module has no attribute sub. So whenever you're getting this error, what you can do is you just go for kernel restart. Okay, whenever you restart, then that particular updation has been recognized. Then restart. Now once you have done this, again you just execute this first one. Okay, here we are going to call only display. So maybe we put this, then save, then come back, just restart the kernel, then execute this. Okay, so we need to put a parenthesis over there. Then this one is over, then this one is over. Then here you are getting error. So just again you execute this, you get the answer. So any modification what you're trying to do in this particular .py file, when you go back to the editor for running, you just go for restart the kernel so that the updation has been recognized, and your module, whatever is the first module what you created, importing the module, you need to execute that first. Okay, then later on you can do the other task. Okay, if suppose I add one more def multiplication of a comma b, and here you put as colon and write return a into b. Okay, then save that file, come back here for another one, then here again the module name dot mul of, I'll give 3 comma 4, and here also we expect some error. Okay, you see it is not recognizing that mul, so you just restart this. Okay, once it is restarted, this x module, this import x module, you need to compulsorily do this. Now after that you can directly come here and just execute. Now can you see 3 into 4 12. So like this you can go on adding functions or variables or classes and so on. Now coming to the variables in module, the module can contain functions as already described, but also variables of all types like arrays, dictionaries, objects, etc. can also be done. Now here, how to access the variables? So what I can do here is just go back to the same. I'll put some variables here like x equal to some 10, y equal to something called hello. Okay, then some z equal to some 3.4. Okay, so different categories I'm trying to put. Just save this, then go back. Again, you restart the kernel. Okay, only execute this once, the starting once. Then you can just come back. And here, if you want to access the variable like xyz, simply write ex module dot x. You got 10 value because I put 10 here. Then similarly, I want to go for ex module dot y. You get hello here because I put hello. So like this, you can access variables also. Then ex module dot z. So you got 3.4. I put 3.4 here. So apart from this, you want to put some other type like list. So I put x1 equal to some list like 2 comma 3 comma something called high. Then I put 5.4. Okay, so like this I can put. If you want to access an element from this, just go back. So since you have done this, you save. Okay, and you need to restart the kernel again. Then once it is restarted, just execute only the first import statement so that the ex module is being loaded. Now here I'll just go for ex module dot. Now I want to access, let's say, this one, and this is a list. Square brackets implies a list here. So this is 0 index, 1 index, 2 index. Okay, and is the name of the list is x1. So I'll write x module dot the name of the list x1 of 2 index. Okay, if I write like this, you can see the value called high has been printed because this is 0 index, this is 1 index, this is 2 index. Okay, now this is a list. If suppose I go for a tuple, I put like the parenthesis, same values I'll give 5.4 and close the round brackets. Just save this and again go back, restart the kernel and just execute the first one and come back here. Here you write x module. This is a module name, right? Module dot y1 now. Y1 is a tuple and I'll give y1 of 1. Okay, we'll see what value has been displayed. You got 3 here. So just go back. Here can you see this is a 0 index in tuple and this is a 1 index. So you got 3 correct answer. Then I put z1. I'm putting here some dictionary. I just go for the floor base and I put something called roll number. Then put a colon and give the value. Okay, just put a comma and one more name. Then put a colon and you write some xyz as a name. Okay, so 2 things I have given here. One is roll number and one is name. So I want to access that. How do you do that? Save. Just go back and restart the kernel. Then again execute the first module creation, module accessing. Then you just come back, go for the next cell. Here you need to put x module dot z1 of, you need to give the key here like roll number. Okay, we don't support indexing here for dictionaries in the earlier versions. Okay, just we'll see what happens here. You got 101. Now can you see here? This is 101 value. If suppose I want the name ex module dot z1, that is a list, that is a dictionary name, and here you write name in double quotes. Okay, so this roll number is a key and name is also a key, right? Can you see xyz you got? So the value is xyz. So like this, you can give some variables. You can give the normal variables. You can give the list variable. You can give the tuple, and you can give the dictionary. Okay, so like that, different types of data you can just store and you can access. Now, how to rename a module? See here, every time I'm using X module, but I don't want that. I want to keep a shortcut. So how do you create? So we can create an alias when you import a module by using the as keyword. So I can write like import X module. That's the actual module name as EX or EM X module, no EMM. So I can do like this. Now after this, I can use. Suppose I want to go for the same thing. Just I'll copy, but instead of this EX module, I'll put only the short form, the alias name. So now still you are able to get the answer. So every time we need not repeat this particular complete name, we can put an alias name like this by using as keyword. Okay, so we can create an alias when you import a module by using the as keyword. Okay, so this is a shortcut what I'm creating. So instead of writing every time EX module, I can write only EM. So if suppose I go for this, I can just copy this, but I'll write only EM. Still you get the answer. Okay. If suppose I go for this, just put em.z. Still you are getting the same answer. So this is called a renaming a module. Okay. So we are giving some temporary name or the alias name for the existing module by using the as keyword. Okay. So earlier, if you can see here, I was writing only this line. I was not creating any alias name, but here I'm creating the alias name by using as keyword. So this is user defined. You can give any name. Okay. Now we have built-in modules also. There are several built-in modules in Python which you can import whenever you like. Now, for example, I'm taking here a platform module, which is a predefined one, and I'm calling a function, a method called system, and I'm storing the value into X and print that X value. So just execute this. So here my system is holding a Windows operating system. So you get the operating system with the Windows. So system is a function under platform module. Okay. So this function is called with the help of the module name, right? And that is storing in X and print that X. Now we have the dir function, which is also predefined or built-in. What we call, there is a built-in function to list all the function names or variables and names in a module. So the dir function is the function name. Okay. So here I'm taking the same module, but I'm passing the module to the dir function. Okay. Then that particular function names or variables, whatever is available here, will be storing into this X and print that X. Can you see so many things are there here? These are all available under platform module. So if you want to access any function names or the variable names from a module, you can apply dir function. So this is a predefined function. Now note the dir function can be used in all modules, also the ones you create yourself. So we'll try to check. Now here, let me go for, I'll just apply these two lines, I'll copy, and I'll give here EX module, right? What we created. Just check. Can I see here? These are all the things, they're all the predefined things loaded, and we have an add function, then display function, then multiple function, sub function, x variable, x1 variable, y1, z1. Now these are all things what I have done. Display function, add function, sub function, multiple function, x, y, z, x1, y1. So these are all the predefined one, which is applicable for every module. Okay, so like this, you can go for dir function. Next, we have import from module. We can choose to import only parts from a module by using the from keyword. Like I want to access only one function, two functions, or only few variables from the whole module. Then you can go for from import concept. So how to write? So we have from keyword. So ex module is the actual module name. From that, I want to import only add function. Okay, so here we have display, add, sub, and multiplication, and so many variables are there. I want to only access this one. I don't want all. Now I need to write from the module called ex module, import only the add function. Now here you can see the note before executing. When importing using the from keyword, so this is the from keyword, do not use a module name when referring to the elements in the module. Example, here if suppose I want to just find out the key called age and its value I want. So this is the dictionary name. This is the key. You need to get the value. I'm not using any module name. Okay. You are not supposed to use, like suppose my module is the module name, then dot the dictionary name. You're not supposed to use like this. You can access directly. So just execute this and we'll try by using, okay, directly I can call, right? Add of 5, 6. I don't go for any module prefix. So you got the answer. Now I'll try for subtraction also. Because I'm using only add here, I don't want subtraction, but still we'll check whether it works or not. I give 6, 5. Now you got an error. Name sub is not defined because here we are accessing only one function. If suppose I'll write sub, then execute that and you execute this one. Now you're getting the answer. Okay, so here you can go for selective functions importing or selective variables also. So these are showed for functions. Now I'll show for the variables. I'm having x, y, and z. So we'll see before giving. I want to print the x value. Okay, just execute that. So you got an error here. X is not defined. So I put here from ex module import two functions add and sub comma x also. Just execute this and just come back and execute this one. So you got the answer now. So x value is what? 10 here already defined. Similarly, I want z here. So I go for print of z. Print of z. Just execute. You need to get an error here. So you got the error. Z is not defined. So here only you can add like z and execute that and come back and execute this one. Can you see 3.4? So here you got 3.4. Now if suppose I go for this tuple called y1 and I want to execute, let's say I want to access this. So this is two index, 0 index, 1 index, and 2 index. So I'll go for, see here I'm accessing directly, right? So I'll write y1 dot, not y1 dot, y1 of 2 index, right? So just execute that. So here you got an error because here you're not defined, right? So you need to define that tuple variable also, y1, and execute that and come back and execute this one. So can you see? You got that hi message. Okay, there's a string. Suppose if I go for a dictionary, the dictionary name is Z1, right? So here I'll add Z1 also. Z1, execute this, and here I'll go for Z1. But here I need to give the key, either roll number or name is the key, right? So I'll give here roll number, then execute that. Now can you see you got 101? If suppose I give the name, Z1 of name, Z1 of name, there's one more key, right? So when you give the key, you get the value. Can you see XYZ? So here, name and so like this, you can mention your separate .py file and give any name. This file will become a module. So any file with .py extension is called as a module. but there generally we write some functions with logic, some variables, some constants, and some classes we do write, and we want to access this particular functions and or variables, whatever is required, a number of times in various applications. So that is the advantage what you're getting when you go for the modules. So you define so many functions here, but you want to reuse a number of times, so you can just call that particular module or by accessing that particular module by import statement, and you can do that. Okay, so here I mentioned how to create a what is a module, how to create module, how to use a module by using import statement, how to use a variable, access the variables in a module, then how to rename the module by giving the alias name, shortcut way, then how to you work with built-in modules. So I've given only one or two, but there are so many modules you can work with. What is the use of direct dir function, then how to use the from import statement. Okay, that means only specific functions or variables you can access. So if you like this video, do comment, subscribe, and share it to your friends. Thank you.